Oh, hi everyone. Well, it's a pleasure to become, right here because this is such a great, relaxing environment. It's just like a hub, reminds me back to when I was in college. Yeah, every lunchtime we like talking with different classmates and sometimes with the professor. I love that place. Yeah.
I love that, and thank you again for joining us today here, Victor. So excited to be speaking to you about your creative journey as well as your AI ink artist, AI Gemini, and the works you're exhibiting at Digital Art Fair.
Yes.
So let's just get started with the talk. I'd love to hear how you started your career in the media industry in Hong Kong.
Wow, that's a long story. But anyway, that's right. I started to study electrical engineering when I was in Seattle 30 years ago. Wow, long time. But I have a background that my father's run the shops doing bamboos and papers for the dad, and like lanterns and that kind of thing. So when I finished my study in Seattle as an engineer, I come back to Hong Kong. Have a chance, another long story, that I happens enter into the advertising industry and do animation at that time. At that time, it's giving me very opportunities because there's no one doing it. Try to do something, there's no one doing it, then you get an opportunity to start your career sometimes. So at that time, advertising is my work. And after working for a few years and get some awards, and then I have a chance to work on the game Final Fantasy. And then after the Final Fantasy, Jackie Chan and his producer asked me to do the visual effects for his movies, The Gorgeous. So at that time, from 1998, I started doing movies until now, creating visual effects for almost 120 movies. That is somewhat part of my work. Now I do a lot of using my my learnings and knowledge, and well, I cannot say it is expertise, but put that into some design and artwork. And now everyone is talking about art tech. Oh, that's cool. I'm kind of art backgrounds, engineering backgrounds. That's a world for me now. So I do a lot of different things. Yeah.
Very impressive portfolio. So I want to go back into your work in special effects. How did you come to founding your own digital effects production company, VFX Nova?
Yeah, well, that's because of the movie industries. At that time, starting to do works for Jackie Chan, we need a team that need around maybe 20 or 30 people to work on some scene with fishes and a lot of visual effects that seamlessly merge with the background. So we hired, and then from 2 person, 4 persons, 4 people, and then more and more. And then after that, and also after the Final Fantasy, we got a lot of calls that opportunities there. So I grow my company and then start hiring more people and then also start my studio in China. And then China and Hong Kong as a working team. And then we usually do creative stuff in Hong Kong and project management. And then the China team, we do all this modeling and then retouch team, and also sometimes we do digital stunt for actors. So when they do acrobats or come in a car crash or whatever, we use digital stunts to replace it more safe. So this is kind of thing that I started to build the company and then grow the company because of the movies.
Being internationally acclaimed, though, what did you find unique about Hong Kong's media scene, and why did you choose to keep your production company here in Hong Kong, but tag teaming in China as well?
Yeah, I think Hong Kong is a very good place to do international work. It's easily to connect to people, and also Hong Kong brand. This brand is very famous in Hong Kong, even at the very early years. And to me, 1930 something, it's like we have movies in Hong Kong, and also the movie industry is kung fu, and also everyone's in the world knows about the movie industry in Hong Kong. So I think as a base, if you're doing movie stuff, and it's easy to connect to the world, and also because and also close to China, and we sometimes you need more workforce, and then combining the workforce and the creatives, and Hong Kong is the best place to have it all. Yeah, and then if you invite the producers or director come to Hong Kong, they will fly overnight. Yes, I have an experience that I do a lot of commercials in Japan, and like October now because of the crab, and many commercial directors would like to come to Hong Kong. They kind of persuade they convince their clients to come to Hong Kong to do productions. It's a good sign. So Hong Kong is a place that have everything connected. Our creative industry, our movie industry, connected to the tourist industry, because when people like others countries came to Hong Kong, they feel good, and they kind of, okay, we can do tours, and then they can walk around, a lot of things to go, and then work together. And especially the Japanese, they work all the night, and they non-stop. But they're very near Japan, so they come over the weekend, work and eat, and go back on the Monday. And it seems like they're not haven't lived in the country yet. So kind of quite nice, quite nice. So and for the pandemic right now, it's slow down a little bit, but I think it's still good. Yeah. Hong Kong, I love Hong Kong.
What do you enjoy about that form of creative expression as well? Whether it was your work in commercials or movies or through special effects, what do you find special, or what drew you to that in the first place?
Well, to me, I love animations when I was small, because there's only entertainment at that time. We do not have iPhones. We only have TV, and all the TV. I love this like they have like children time period, which is like we have the robots, we have the get time of kids stories and Sesame Street and all this, and all this stuff is very creative, and then it's kind of in a children's like a sponge, they will absorb and stuff, and it's all right here. So when I do some creative work, I need to relate something or some insight or an inspiration from different things, and some of them even most of the time when I look at like a question, or okay, this is what I need to create, I immediately have my pictures come up in my head. Then okay, why not you do something like this? And sometimes because of the ages, some directors is about the same age. When we talk about robots, Mazinger Z and all that, we can enjoy all day. And then in the creative industry, like movies, advertising, people's connection is most important. You got to work and enjoy and make friends. And this is what I always think, well, doing business is just making friends. You love your friends and you love your business. And your friends love you and your business love you.
That's a really good way of thinking about it. Is that the core, you would say, of how you went about delivering successful projects to your clients as well? Is this what drove you to carry out these projects?
Yes, I love to receive awards because it's not just myself, it's about the team and also about your clients, about your, sometimes if it's advertising, about agency. I recently received some awards from the New York Festival. And
Congratulations.
Yes, and it is quite, it is experience because it's for a bank. And then I use the Hang Index to create landscape painting. So the painting is ever changing. And people say, oh, that's the best way to look at some boring kind of chart. Okay, fine. I got some awards and the agency love it, and we have the celebration parties and the clients love it. And that's something that I enjoy. When you create something out and people's really connected. And this is most important. As an artist, I'm not those artists like they have their own world and they want to express it, whether it connects to the audience or not, it doesn't matter. But to me, because maybe I come from a commercial world, I really want to connect to my audiences. So when I create something out and really touch people's hearts, that's the moments that I want to cry. I always, every day I want to cry. Yeah.
Speaking about your work as an artist, I want to transition a little into your artistic journey. How was that for you? What kind of transition did you make, or had you always been interested in doing art? And how has your career progressed since then?
Yes, for art projects, I started in very early years because my father's running shops, doing lanterns, that kind of thing, bamboos and papers, and create that kind of thing. He created like motorcycle using paper and bamboos. So to me, it's starting from early years. But now, because of the my careers on movies and then and advertising, there's one to me it's a turning point. I have a project to work with the Hong Kong Jockey Club to kind of convert a master paintings, ink painting in Chinese, about horses, 水杯红, into animations. It's very hard because I think 6 or 7 out of 10 Chinese knew how the horses look like. So if I convert it into animations, we need to like very close to like maybe 80 and 90% is convincing, right? So I spent almost like 2 months with my colleagues together, just doing research. How's the spread of ink, what it is, and how the stroke. All the stroke is the muscle. So this kind of research that we do. Animators are only on computer, or not only on drawing all the time. We do research most of the time. So after that, I create a commercials that all these horses, ink horses is running. And then I have a camera set up in the virtual world. It's like an aerial shot ink painting. So that's the first time that ever we have aerial shot ink painting and put together. If you search on the internet about like a 水杯红 animated ink horses, and you will see all this world is connected: ink, technology, traditional art. So these three, not necessarily connected, now connected together through technologies. That starting there, and then start my own like 3-dimension ink painting, how to draw ink in 3 dimensions. And then I think about what if like AI, if they can paint, usually they paint all paintings, drawings, no ink paintings. So I'm thinking of how to draw ink painting, how to ask them, how to teach an AI about ink paintings. So kind of starting say, okay, if it is an ink painting, I need real paper and ink. So the computer need the bodies. So this robot easily, right? Yeah. So I kind of teaching or adding the AI plus the robot, and to draw to use real paper and ink to draw a virtual world. So that is my intentions. And after like maybe 2 years of research and practice, finally we did in 2019 and exhibit in Taiwan and exhibit in London, very successful. People love it. And now it's like, I think, traditional art, or even oil paintings, or what kind of artwork can be plus technologies on it to give a new life. Not necessarily need to add it, but I think it's another way to practice technology such as tools. 2,000 years ago, when we only have like bamboos and stick and craft, someone got a brush coming out. Wow, a brush is a new technology, because at that time, only brush can do a thick brush stroke, a thin brush stroke based on pressure. That's a technology that we invent 2,000 years ago. But up to now, what are we going to use? So if you think about most of the master in history, they have their own secret recipe. That's why they're master, because no one can do the same thing that they are doing. So and most of the time they use technologies. For example, Da Vinci, he kind of research on different things, perspective drawing, even some of the the materials that you use was like with the minerals, and then will never fade out, that kind of thing. So to now, to reflect our time, to use computer, to use technologies in art is just a normal practice.
Do you see that reflecting in your personal artistic journey as well, the evolution of your own artistic style alongside the development of technology?
Wow. I think to me, I love learning things, and in my daily life, curiosity is the main part. So I'm curious on different things. Like when I walk in, I'm curious. They have a stairs. That stairs reminds me some good old house, and then I saw say some plants there I've never seen before. I want to know what kind of it is. So there's many different stuff. If you look at your surroundings, you will find inspirations. And then to me, everything is new to me. I easily forgot something. So I kind of not have. I have some relative memory, but not exactly what it is. But usually I think, sometimes I only. I would say I only remember the future. That's something that drives me to create more. Yes, every day is a new day, and if you find something new, if you something to learn, create, it's good to life. Yeah.
That's such a great way to look at it. So looking at that as well, maybe going back to AI Gemini, what was the most challenging part for you in those 2 years of research and development, and how did you overcome that?
Well, I think as any research, we go back to the fundamentals, theory or whatever. I read some papers on like AI paintings. They use a gang system, which is the AI divided in two parts. One is the left brain and the right brain. Okay, the right brain to create a paintings. The left brain is to decide whether this painting looks like all paintings by human. So this is kind of the gang system going into a circle. Create and then decide, create and decide, and then come up with solutions. I don't think that is a good way for me to do the ink painting, because it's only mimic the human practice, human things, human style. To me, if it's all a combination or collaboration between human and machines, we got to do something that can only be done when when the humans and machine put together. Either one cannot do it. So I'm thinking of like how about let the AI not reading or not learning the painting style from human. I just treat him like a kid. Okay, learn something basic. just brush with more water, you get more absorptions. With less water, you get low dry ink, and then more pressure, you get a thick stroke. Less pressure, you get a thin one. That is basic enough. So, and then I go back to how we do ink painting. Our ancestors, how they did it, is that usually they were wandering around. So the travelers. It's hard for ink painters to do live drawing on the mountain. So much wind, and then have the rice paper coming in, and then and it is so clumsy. Yeah. So usually we went to the mountains and then look at it, enjoyed it, and really absorbed it and inside the feelings. So go back to draw the mindscape. It's about the memory, how the ink paintings look like, and how's the weather, and how's the landscape, and then that is the practice of ink painters, even our ancestors. So. And I asked my AI, okay, let's doing the practice of us, not copy the style. So whenever I asked the Gemini to start to draw, he will create a landscape based on how we form Earth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we have like the plates crushed together, we have the mountain, and then raining for 20 million of years, you have the erosion. With all those water, you have the island. So every time it's going to cycle, and I use the timestamp. Timestamp, the dates, the hours and minutes as the parameters for the mountains. Mm-hmm. So every time the mountain's height is different. Sometimes it's like a desert, sometimes it's like a very high mountains, and then every single stroke, I ask Gemini to look at the weather, to look at the temperature, to look at humidity, and just like us, when we draw pictures, we look, it will be affected by weather, like Blue Monday, raining, and then we draw, okay, more water. And then on sunny day, drawing very fast. Gemini practice the same thing. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of coming out, is there something that it practice like human. And then sometimes the stroke is so steady. And then I have some pictures showed to my some of my ink painting teachers and say, okay, how about my friends doing it? And say, oh, okay, wow, your friends really get the perspective. And also that's something that, is it a very young guy with all these steady lines? I cannot do it. So I think that gives me an answer that his paintings really combines the thoughts of like humans, like we practice, and there's some specialties about the way he draw. The way Gemini's draw. So it's combinations of the humans and machines, and drawing the mindscape of the machines. So there's something that really look alike what we're doing, but not the same. Mm-hmm. It's not copying us. It's just using the same practice to do something that I think is new. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's so interesting. So kind of what advice do you have for emerging artists, or maybe even emerging AI, on how they can develop their own unique styles?
Well, I think you really do some research on the internet. Mm-hmm. If you saw something good, don't do it, because someone do it. Did it already. So try to do something that I know it's hard to do something that someone haven't done before, or you may combine different things together to get some new equations. And also at any time, believe yourself. Believe that once you will find the answer of yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. That's really valuable advice, actually. So I think now is a good time for us to break for intermission. So if you have any questions for Victor, we have a QR code that's floating around. Feel free to scan it and submit your questions, and we'll be sure to get back to it after the break. And our lovely Charms is at the back as well if you'd like to grab a drink. Thank you. All right, everyone, welcome back from intermission. Thank you so much for the questions that you submitted to Victor. So we'll get started with the Q&A portion of our evening. So first off, we have not really a question, but a comment. Congratulations on your success, Victor.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I think it is a success. Need to share. Need to celebrate with your colleagues. Yeah, so let's cheers, everyone.
Thank you for that lovely comment. So our first question is about the digital art fair.
Yeah.
Compared to last year's fair and looking at this year's experience, what improvements have you seen this year?
Well, the first year, last year, this is the first time, and also it's in a little bit rush. And there's the space division. I get some feedback is that the space division may not be too good, and then also the air conditions, that kind of thing. This year, all improved. You will see spacious exhibitions, and you are very comfortable with the air conditions, and also especially we divided into different areas, and you will enjoy it. Yeah.
Love to hear it. Speaking of, do you mind sharing a little bit more on the works you're exhibiting at this year's fair?
Yes. This year I have a series called Mind Capsule, because I did a lot of different things and have a lot of different ideas. And usually there's only one single time idea, one-off ideas, and so now I put in a capsule. That means that this is Victor Wong. I create certain capsule. I love one capsule that I just created this year is to have something that can synchronize with today's Hong Kong. So there's a phrase in Cantonese, it's called 風雨同步. That means that I will walk with you under any weather circumstances. Yeah. So I create this lion rock, and then I put in a picture. And I synchronized with the Hong Kong Observatory, and it will reflect the real-time weather, the cloud volume, the tides, and also especially the pollution data. So if it's raining outside, my paintings will be raining. If it is like a lot of pollutions in the daytime, the painting will be foggy. So it's kind of synchronized. People just love it. And another artwork is that I have a monument there. It's a puzzle shape with LED, and I create an ocean simulation and put inside this puzzle shape. I call it the missing piece of Earth. It's a monument because if Earth is a puzzle set, we are losing pieces every day, like the ice, like our forest, and it's a monument of the missing elements of Earth. It's called the missing piece of Earth. I love that piece, and it's so meaningful to me. I hope it's meaningful to the audiences. Yeah. So come to see.
Digital Art Fair will be showing until November 6th, so you're more than welcome to check out Victor's works there. Next question about AI Gemini, actually.
Yes.
Do you think, just like the stories or the movies that we hear about AI, do you think Gemini can feel?
Well, I think Gemini can sense the environment. Sensing and feelings is a little bit different. To me, an AI can sense the environment, but they may not feel the environment, but it can respond to that. Until a date that, a phrase called self-recognition. That means that you recognize yourself. So I think this is a topic that is under research because there's no formula or a place in our biological places that store the self consciousness. So there's only few animals in the world like the crown, the monkey, us. Even a cat do not have self-recognition. The cat will fight a mirror reflection by himself. So once if the AI gets recognized, this is me, At that time, it's dangerous now. He will feel. Now it's only he can sense and react. To me, an AI still a long way to become human, but we can use AI as you can talk to him, and then he will respond, and somehow you comfort you. If you watch a movie called Her, it's kind of someone is in love with the AI. It's true because when we doing programming, we put our human elements into the AI. You feel like that, and then it's a illusion to me. But at some point, it's someone existing, just like an infant. An infant may not in the first 6 months may not recognize himself, but it starting there. So the AI to me, maybe in 3 or 5 years, when the research said, okay, this is self-recognition, how we program it. Because whatever we need the AI to know, we need to formulate it. So once we can formulate self-recognition equal A, B, C, D, E, F, G plus D, then that is something that the AI can learn. Not now.
What do you think we can see from the future of art tech if the AI ever reaches this self-recognition?
Well, I think at that time you will see more interesting things, like human. Why is so we kind of obsessed to the art created by humans, because it is creative. It's new every day. Someone create new stuff every day. If the AI can create new stuff we have never seen, or something that cannot be created or under certain circumstances, and that's something we want to see. To me, art is something created by human, not on Earth. Now, Earth do not need art. Animals only need to survive, only to reproduce. They do not need art. Art's only created by human and enjoyed by human. And AI created by human too. If AI can create art, well, there's another tools that created by human that create art for us. So I think it not necessarily need to put it aside. I think if AI can do something that we can do, let it do it. And also get inspired by him, and then compete with him. And then this is what I see. Okay, if AlphaGo won human can win him again, right? So this is something I want to see, is that a collaboration between human and AI.
I love that. That's really interesting to think about. That might kind of go into this next question, which is, what are you currently working on? Are there any works or projects or collections you can share with us?
Oh, yes. I'm working on 2 movies. One movie is about Andy Lau. It's kind of doing some heroic things. And that there's the hijack of like a plane, and he saved a lot of people. So that's something that we need a lot of visual effects to finish the movie. That's something that is we create like a set, like a Disney set. The airplane can move up and down, and all this audience inside act very spontaneously. It's not acting; it's like real reactions. That is something that you want to see. Okay, wow, you're so immersive, because a movie is immersive. It's not necessarily it's IMAX or it's a story that you can draw you into the movies. That's called immersive, right? Okay, that's one thing that I am doing. And the second thing is that I'm preparing my ceramic exhibition. Yes, this is kind of cool because ceramic and clay is a very old materials. Even over 10,000 years. So how that's connected to new technology, how these materials and how this art form, I mean ceramic or clay, exists in every single culture for almost thousands of years. Everyone have it because it's from Earth. Yeah. So how tech, how art, combining with ceramic and clay can do something new. This is what I'm into. Yeah, so this is something will come in a few months. Yeah, and also I now is exhibiting in a digital art fair. I will keep updating my line rock. So you will see a big rubber duck coming out tomorrow. So there's good things about tech art, because if it is online and updated, you can have something new coming out. Or even I sold that pieces to someone and I secretly program it. So from a day until morning, wow, okay, my my artwork changes. I think this is a good way to connect to your audience, and then you're always connected. And I feel good because one of my collector, he brought one paintings from of Gemini. He keep calling me that I see new things. I see there's a bridge between the mountains. I see something. There's a rocks. There's something that I see a shapes of. What I will keep chatting over 2 years. I think that is so good. And also it is only current time. The artists and the collectors can be connected so close. Yeah.
I love that. There's so much potential in the technology
Yeah,
that
yes.
you use to connect with your audience.
Yes.
Next question is, what is it like working with Jackie Chan?
Oh yes. Well, Jackie is a very good guy. Although there's some rumors about him, whatever. But when an actor like him, when he like just stepping into the scene, I mean the filming site, totally different person, very professional. And also he is very care about the safety, because we're doing action movies. He's care about safety of every single person. Very, considerate. That is one thing. And the second thing is that he let creative people speaks. Yeah. So whenever we have ideas not related to the script, we may find something, because at some point, if it's like in Hollywood, we have to go through like the producers, and you get the approval from the producers and the directors, and then it get go. So everything is like pre-settled. But in Hong Kong filming, it's like spontaneous. We get some problems, well, solve it. We got some ideas, let's make it happen. So this is somehow I love that you asked me in the early question why I have my space in Hong Kong, because I love Hong Kong. I love this kind of like doing creative stuff. It's not, sometimes it's not on a plan. Well, if any plan that is can be executed, there's no plan. That is no plan that you can execute any plan. So, but we have a certain kind of plan, but based on the environment, based on the circumstances and circumstances, and then we change that. And if it's successful, we all celebrate. So this is kind of this kind of brotherhood connections about filming, because when we kind of doing a movies together for like 3 or 4 months together on the same site, we kind of just like you live in a roommate with like 4 months, you got to have something that starting start learning from each other, and then start to communicate and start to understand. And then if we are going to create a product together, we need to work on it very hard. So that is something that I love is the industry of the movies, that everyone put in their heart in to make a final product.
I love that. It's such a vibrant industry with so much potential as well. Speaking of potential, this goes into our next question.
Yeah.
What do you think about emerging AI, such as Midjourney? Do you incorporate them in your daily work?
Well, I kind of doing something with Midjourney. It is quite nice to do a brainstorming. To me, someone like some magazine, I think it's a Cosmopolitan maybe. Yeah, he got like Midjourney to draw like a spaceman and then put it as a final product. I think it's okay, but to me, I kind of doing as an inspiration. So quite good to work on. Now you type in some wordings and reflect it into something that you sometimes totally unexpected. Creatives, unexpectations, or this kind of a surprise, we need it. So I will always asking. I'm trying different ideas and a phrase to let me journey to create some surprise for me and help me to think. Not necessarily I use the artwork, but I kind of use it as an inspiration. Quite nice, yeah.
That's really interesting, fully integrated.
Yes.
My next question is, could you elaborate on the artwork you're the most proud of that you're currently exhibiting at Digital Art Fair, if it was not the one that you mentioned already?
Yes, well, I really love one which is a dancing woman. I name it as Inner Self. In the dream, I not necessarily need to be a male. I mean, I can be a woman in my dream, but I want to create a dance in water. Just like forever struggling with ideas, concept, and my inner self. Because some concepts are good, something that you are capable to doing it, but something that you're repeating yourself, you want to do something new, there's a struggle. And also every new stuff is risky. Whether you come out, you spend maybe 2 months to do some rubbish, or you just have something that you're proud of, but people don't love it. And so there's something really reflecting myself, is that underwater I'm kind of struggling with, I can see my audience love it. I saw some passerbys and then just stop and look at the animations dancing woman for almost like 10 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes in front of artwork. I think only Mona Lisa can do it. So yeah, there's so many too. Yeah, and each piece of the artwork, I want to put some messages on. Yeah, and there's another one I'm really proud of. Yeah, and most of us love flowers, and even Van Gogh paint the flowers, Matisse paint the flowers, and I secretly paint some roots. Yeah, and I have a paintings, 3D ink paintings, painting the roots using Chinese ink style, and I think this is quite nice because I name it "Finding Your Roots." This is the double meaning of this picture, and it's black and white. And it stands out against all these colors. Yeah. and you see only black and white pictures in the exhibition is my paintings. It's a black and white of the roots of flower. So the subject is the lower part, not the upper part. Most of us appreciate the petals, the colors, but I think art or even beauty can be appreciated in different ways, perspective. So inner, outer. So I think try to look at things in different angles. That's the point.
That's very beautiful. Is it also part of the Mind Capsule collection?
Yes, Mind Capsule collection will be infinite because I have 63 million of thoughts every day. Yeah.
Can't wait to see more of it.
Yes.
So this goes into our last question from the Q&A, which is where do you think art tech can move forward from now?
Wow, that's a very good question because looks like people are repeating themselves now. I mean, they're doing videos, they're doing projections, but I think the art tech think not necessarily on pictures. How about the sound? How about some others, lightings? I think, how about others like food? Can others stuff in the world combine it with art and create, combine it with tech and create some new art? I think it can be opened. And also, the food art is always related to photographs. And how about food and microscope? and then put it together in animations, and then we can have like a microscope and going to red and then coming back, and then make it as a movie. Why not? So I think for the future of art tech, I will put two words: is why not? That is, we can do anything about it.
I love that. So we know that you're working on the film right now with Andy Lau, as well as your upcoming ceramics collection. May I also ask what's next for AI Gemini? Are you working on something with your AI as well?
Wow, yes. Gemini's in 2 years ago only draw black and white ink. Now I combine with colors. Just recent collaboration with properties developer. They use Gemini's work, a colorful work of a mountain, to create a picture, and that picture is the key visual of all this marketing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the first one. And then again with the colors, the new James Webb satellite telescope just launched, and we see a lot of different pictures clear there. And one is together with the Juno. Juno is a satellite near Jupiter. So the images coming from Jupiter is quite nice and clear. I say, wow, there's another world, because Jupiter is a gas planet. So what I'm doing is that I use the minerals found on Jupiter and do my own Jupiter using the turbulence data. And then use that data to fit into Gemini. Now have a series of Jupiter. It's a new tech world. It's a new world that combining art, colors, minerals, and the force of nature is coming next for Gemini.
That's so interesting. So where will we be able to see this collection?
Probably next year. Yeah, this year I want to go travel.
Yeah, a lot of positive things to look forward to as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today, Victor. It was such a pleasure having you with us. Really enjoyed hearing more about your works. And for those who are interested in learning more about Victor or seeing his works, you can drop by Digital Art Fair. It's running until November 6th, so you can check out Victor as well as many other emerging artists' works there. We will be posting this stream on social media as well, so be sure to follow us at the Hive Hong Kong, as well as at Victor_art_tech, and at Digital Art Fair Asia, as well as at Hive Life Magazine. If you'd like to know any more about upcoming events as well, feel free to check out our social media. So thank you so much for joining us today, and looking forward to seeing you at our next talk.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.